We're brought ourselves back to the YouTube channel and to another episode of the weekly sports show. Just a couple of things to talk about that have happened today. Obviously, big news from Liverpool, and obviously the final of the Champions League has just taken place and finished. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and like as always, and leave comments down below for anything you'd like to see on the weekly sports show, any sports in particular you'd like to see news upon. And of course, just for now, let's talk about the two big topics hand. So Liverpool have decided, or Slot has decided, to part ways with one another, and it's huge because they waited so long and allowed Xabi Alonso to go to Chelsea, and the expectation probably was to hire Xabi Alonso had Slot not been there. And now it's Areola, the Bournemouth manager, or however you pronounce his name. He is, I think, set to be the next manager. It's a tough one as well. Like, I get Liverpool in the Champions League, but wouldn't it be exciting to be at Bournemouth and know that you can lead them in a European competition, and you've been unbeaten for the longest part of a few months, and you've done this with a Bournemouth team that lost a lot of their players at the back end of back end of last season, start of the new season. So if I'm the Bournemouth manager, it's a no-brainer almost, and I think it's the Bournemouth manager. I keep second-guessing myself. It's almost a no-brainer to stay at Bournemouth. But again, Slot is gone. That is true. That is facts. He has parted ways after winning one Premier League title in 2 seasons, which is great. Obviously, he inherited Klopp's team, but he still had to get the team over the line. And obviously, they dropped off this past season with them finishing fifth. And I think it's probably come to the point where Konate, Robertson, and Salah have all left. It's almost like Isaac hasn't got the ball rolling. Ekitike's injured. And the team's in a bit of a mess at the minute because Mama Deshvili, how he pronounced his name, he's not been the best goalkeeper. He's not been the best replacement for Alisson. And Alisson, I think, is also on the way out as well. So you've got so many of the seniority players who are probably on their way out, and some of them aren't performing. Gakpo's not been the greatest. Obviously, they lost Jota, unfortunately, who was an immense player for them. So Liverpool are in a weird position, you know. If you're a manager, do you come in? Do you get creative control and manage to bring in players that fit your ideology? Does he bring some of the Bournemouth lads to Liverpool? It's a really tough one. But I think ultimately, if you're at Bournemouth, I think you'd give it a go at Europe because you've got more of a chance of being in that job for longer instead of being sacked at Liverpool. Because the reality is the target of Liverpool is to win the title, to win titles, to win the Champions League, to win the Premier League, to win the FA Cup, to win the League Cup. And at the minute, it just seems like a very hard job because, yes, Arsenal and City had a bit of a clash and, you know, they were going head to head. United are going to be better next season. Spurs are already recruiting a few players. You already saw Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth and Villa, and Newcastle will have good moments. The Prem is a difficult place to be. I didn't even mention Chelsea. I didn't even mention, there's so many good teams in the Premier League. Sunderland, who are up there as well. So it's definitely, Liverpool is no longer one of those jobs. Oh yeah, it's a guarantee if you take over, you're going to be in it for the long term. Klopp was there for the long term because he won a lot, and he had a personality that could drive him to win the Premier League and the Champions League and all the other trophies he did. But yeah, Slot just didn't have it in him, and I think 2 seasons. It's crazy that he left after 2 seasons, but it was inevitable. You know, you win the Premier League, the expectation is to at least stay in a top two position. But again, when you're dealing with Man City and a team like Arsenal who have been getting better and better every season, it was just hard to ever see him work out. But in other news, the Champions League final has wrapped up, and thankfully, thank the Lord, because Arsenal went 1-0 up, and a Dembele penalty brought them all the way to extra time. PSG have beaten Arsenal. Arsenal fans can now chill. And the thing is with Arsenal fans, they think Arsenal are better. I've heard people say, and I've watched these on TikTok, saying they're one of the greatest Champions League teams of all time. You're not. You're the second best team in Europe. You're not, because you're not better than Bayern. You're still not on par with a lot of teams. You're not better than Barcelona. You're not better than Madrid. You're not better than these teams. Just because you got to the final, you didn't face Bayern Munich. You didn't face all these other teams. PSG beat you. So it's irrelevant if you got to the final or not. Tottenham have got to the final, you know. Um, it's about winning the final. End of the day, you lost, and they'll probably make complaints about this or that. But end of the day, I'm so happy. I wish City had taken the Prem title from them, and then Arsenal fans could have been brought back down to earth. Because there's no other fans where you go, I despise them. Because Liverpool fans, yes, they're annoying, but at least they could be like, oh, we've had a shit season. Or Chelsea fans, I mean, again, they're all still annoying, but City United fans are annoying because they're unrealistic and biased and changing their opinions all the time. I'm a United fan, but at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for PSG winning. And yeah, let's celebrate so much that Arsenal fans get wound up. But of course, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and I'll be back with more weekly sports show content very soon. Are you happy with Slot's departure? Who do you think will replace him? Will it be Areola? And what did you think of the Champions League final? Did PSG deserve it? Did Arsenal deserve it? I'll be back soon. Goodbye.